guys, Ralph here, True Power Trumpet Fitness, and welcome to a drop-dead, gorgeous day here in Connecticut. Okay, sun's out. It's going to be in the 80s. This is a late one for me. I've got to get out and get my bike, and all of a sudden, with my daughter home, we've got three drivers and 2 cars. So I'm just playing chauffeur, that's that. I have not played a note. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Have not played a note. These are probably the only notes I'm going to play. I've got some students coming in. I got to work. So let's get to it. You saw the thumbnail. Why I don't perform anymore. If you don't call these performances, I'll get to it. Okay. So let's see what we got. Spin buzz feels good as usual. I don't know where that came from. Double C's to Arbin to Vizzuti? Fire dance? My Lord. You talk about stream of consciousness. I've meditated a lot today. Anyway, it came to me while I was thinking about that. And needless to say, Vacchiano, if you listen to any of these, had an enormous influence on my life. And I can't imagine how the trumpet has evolved since his day. If that was a warm-up, he wouldn't know what to do. He wouldn't know what to make of it. The only thing is, it's a trick mouthpiece. Anybody can do that on a trick mouthpiece. I'd hand him the mouthpiece, I guarantee he couldn't do it. I don't think he could play one note on that mouthpiece. He was so stretched out. But anyway, that's something to think about. Anyway, why don't I perform anymore? Well, I'll tell you what. I want you to listen to this, and I want you to listen carefully. It may sound like I got a little burned out, and that's not the case at all. That's not the case at all. So please, this is from the bottom of my heart, and I'll tell you what happened. I went to school in New York City, Manasquan, Vacchiano Buzz, you heard all that. And I'm sure I told you, my first real gig, even though I was gigging throughout, helped put myself through school playing. My real first gig was principal trumpet with the North Carolina Opera when I was touring. And it was a short little season, 20 weeks. Loved it down there, but I wanted the bright lights and I missed New York. How stupid was I? And I came back and freelanced for 15 years. Okay? Broadway, the whole 9 yards. And I really, really was an active trumpet player for about 15 years. Okay? Now, after about 15 years, it started to grow old. And let me explain. Here comes the burned out part. It really wasn't. All the stereotypes that you can possibly tell about a musician are all true. Smoky clubs, late nights, drugs, alcohol, not getting paid, being on the road, because of the lifestyle, never having a relationship with, significant other. I mean, that is all part of being a musician. And if you know anything, if you've watched any of these videos, that's not me at all. Oh my God. I love to be in shape. I love to eat right. Drugs, never. Booze, never. Oh my God, I haven't had a glass of wine in I'm going to say 45 years. I mean, cigarettes, you can get away from me with that frickin' thing. They're killing me. I'm not that type of person. Being on the road was fun for about 5 minutes. And then, how many times do you have to be in Cincinnati before you've had enough? So long and hard, I was thinking, what could I possibly do to give myself a normal life with a white picket fence in the suburbs and still remain a trumpet player? Now, I was very good with numbers. Always have been. And I thought, any moron can go down to Wall Street and turn a few bucks. 40, 60 hours a week, I could do that. And play on the side? Ooh, playing on the side? No. And I just couldn't imagine life without playing the trumpet. So there were a handful of things I could have done. But without playing the trumpet, I'd be miserable. The only thing that I could come up with that I could remain a trumpet player and have a normal life was public school teaching. And within 3 months of making this decision, I had a beautiful job in New York City, beautiful job, a magnet school. The first day there, I met my future wife. The rest is history. I've had 30 years of absolute bliss before I retired. I loved it. I remained a trumpet player. I still did gigs, in New York because I was living in Brooklyn. There's no reason I couldn't do, Latin jobs and Hasidic jobs and go in for a sub on Broadway. It was all right there. When my daughter came, all of a sudden, the thoughts of being out at 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning or down at Atlantic City for the weekend or something like that and not kissing my daughter goodnight, wasn't what I wanted at all. So I cut back on the playing. And anybody that's freelances knows, once you start cutting back, you stop getting called. And slowly but surely, I moved up Connecticut and I was out of the scene completely, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. So again, as much as I still love playing the trumpet, I abhorred the music business and I got out of it. Now, I have my own CD. And this student that asked me this question, why don't you play anymore, knew me back then. Okay? And he has a CD. He's such a great player. And, I sold a handful of these. And I was a clinician for Boozy and Hawks, so I was doing a lot of that thing for a while as well. But it wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. I love playing the trumpet. I love teaching the trumpet. That comes through. And I dedicated myself to teaching. I have a master's degree in education. Very, very few of these great players who teach do not know really how to teach. Vacchiano knew how to teach and dedicated himself to it. I don't like his techniques that he was driving at. Mel Brooks didn't have a clue how to teach. Great player, and I learned a lot from him just listening to him play and his words of wisdom. He didn't have a clue how to teach. So that's that. That's why I don't play anymore. I do play, Now, here's something. If nothing else, that Vacchiano had an enormous effect on me in my playing. And he told me years ago, when I was 18 years old, he said, the reason I play in the lesson is, where are you guys going to go to hear a great trumpet sound? Unless you're paying $50 to go hear the Met or to go hear the Philharmonic or something, you're not going to hear a great trumpet sound. He says, these guys down here, they're all pretty good players, but it's not a great player, and you have to get that sound in your ear, he told me. And this is what I do. I demonstrate. I demonstrate what I can give you. Okay? And that's what it is. Okay? It's not a performance. You can go to other YouTube channels that do perform. I did a thing on Louis Dowdeswell. Great performing over there. Listen, that's what that's not. He doesn't teach. I teach. I dedicated my life to teaching. The performing is done. I demonstrate. If somebody walked in here right now and offered me $1,500 to go play a Haydn trumpet concerto, okay, I'd polish up the E-flat trumpet and go do it. It would be no sweat. Brandenburg, I might sweat that a little bit, so I might ask for $5 grand. But that's not how it works. You don't understand. You see, unless you've done it, guys, what goes into getting those jobs is what I hated about it. What I hated, you got to be in with the right contractor, and you got to do the tour before you get the solo. Not me, bud. I was done. Couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier. Now, I don't perform. I demonstrate. Like Vacchiano back in the day. This is what I can give you. This is what I'll teach you. And that's it. Remember, a little bit off the topic, but nobody, teacher or anything, nobody can give you what they don't have. If they don't have those chops, they can't give it to you. Take it to the bank. That goes for anything, any walk of life. Again, would you go to a homeless person for advice on investing in your 401k? Of course you wouldn't. They can't give you what they don't have. If you were auditioning for the New York Philharmonic, I would give you the chops, and I would teach you the notes, and then I would send you to somebody in the New York Philharmonic to get the nuances. I've never played with the New York Philharmonic. I can't give you what I don't have. I do have this, and that's what I can give you, and that's what I offer you. So my playing career, per se, except for a church gig every now and then, is done. I have no problem with it. So anyway, that's that. I hope it answers the questions. And that's it. I got to go out and get my bike. You can't begin to believe it. You can't to know how beautiful it is out. Anyway, I love you all. I will see you tomorrow. And live your life with true power and drink your fruits and vegetables. Have a great day.